Hey everybody, welcome in. Good to see you. Episode 7. We're gonna start right now. We've got a lot. We got some things to talk about. I don't want to say a lot. We do have some things to talk about. Not a lot of in-depth. I have an opinion piece. I don't want to ask these gentlemen kind of what we're looking at. But I say gentlemen because I am joined by the same 3 individuals that you've seen the other episode. I've got Dan, I've got Andy, and we have John. Welcome, boys. Dan, how are you? What have you been up to? What have you been playing, my man?
First off, not only are you a gentleman, you're a gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
As for what I've been up to, actually a little bit of a game change up from the last few weeks. 7 Days to Die has come back into the fray.
Yes.
Been checking out a lot of the new stuff. Is discovered that the version I had played a while back doesn't exist anymore, and it's almost like a new game, honestly. So
I want to explain that. I forgot to put this on the notes, but that specifically is something I want to talk about because it's also happened, I believe, to a game that my wife Vanessa was playing.
Okay.
No, she waited to play. So 7 Days to Die was in early access game preview for a long time on Steam and on Xbox. I don't recall if it was also on PlayStation. I would assume. So basically the game was in early access. You know how early access works. It's basically a beta until it comes out. Then it gets a 1.0 release. That's how it works. Recently, or maybe a year ago, I think 7 Days to Die had a 1.0 release. So like it's a full game, came out, feature rich, everything. But that meant that they got rid of the early access and the game preview version of the game. And then you had to buy, for my understanding, if everything is correct, you had to then buy the game at a full price of $45 or $44.99.
They did say that if you had owned whatever, it was going to be slightly cheaper. But
you
like
got
if you did
discount.
the Game Pass, it didn't count.
Yes, if you did Game Pass, obviously it was just in Game Pass under game previews. You got to play it there. I wanted to raise a question to everybody before we moved on to you other gentlemen of what you've been playing. Is that kind of fucked up, or is that like Andy? What do you think? Is that like I get it, or is it that's probably not the best way to go about it?
So you bought the game in game preview, and then they released the game and made you pay money again?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little questionable.
You could get it in Game Pass, so that in game preview as well, but you could also buy it.
Yep. And on Steam early access. Yeah. Can't speak to PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, if you already bought it once, that's a little questionable. Like, did you not buy the actual product? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. But the same thing
standard.
Yeah, the same thing happened to, I think it was Time Rancher 2. I think that's I could be totally wrong. I'd have to verify that with my wife, but I think they did the same thing where like the game preview version no longer exists. So you have to buy the full brand new 1.0 version, which is more money than the original game preview early access game. That's normally how it works. But usually you get a discount or like, oh, you bought in early to fund us to keep going, which is the point of those things. Why would, you know what I mean? Should you have to buy it again? John, kind of same boat. Feels like a little sketch area.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to look for just real quick on Steam, like a game, just any one of my games that's in early access, because there's always like a little statement like on the Steam page saying that it's in early access, and there's like a little, like a statement under it. And now that I need to find something, I'm not going to be able to find it. But there's always like a little statement that always says like, hey, this is in early access mode. This buying it in early access basically is you putting your confidence in us, that this is a work in progress, and it's kind of we appreciate this, your money's going to this, and so on and so forth. And so it is kind of a jerk move there to pull that. Right. That's not cool. It's not cool.
It also, because like with this, I think we were talking just a little before we got in here, Jordan. Someone said like it's still considered technically in beta too, so It's like they're also charging you full price for something that's not considered a full release yet. Like
not even a full release.
So that in this case in particular, because of that part too, that also adds a little bit to it, right? Like you're not paying for their, all right, it's the official full release. You're paying almost what a new game costs currently for something that was in early access for several years, many years, and now
Right.
is technically released into beta. Like that, it's again. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind as for me because I had it through Game Pass. Like I don't mind that I would have had to have paid something, but it was like 50, 54, 45 or $54, one of the two. Like that's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah. 7 Days to Die was 11 years of early access.
Yeah.
That's a long time for an early access game. But yeah,
and
go ahead.
the world that we live in is so, and I'm guilty of it too. I think we all are. It's so easy. It's much easier to just throw our hands in the air, pound our fists,
Wait,
and
like,
then, but then it's a fun game. So
yeah,
how often do you find yourselves in that situation where you're like, man, this is horse, this is absolutely just garbage, but then we just roll over and do it anyway, and that's the environment, the world that we live in. We protest and we do all this, but nothing really changes. The developers they're gonna get away with that. People are gonna rebuy it, they're gonna buy it again. And how many Grand Theft Auto versions are there?
Jordan's always said it most. You have, if you want to vote, you have to vote with your wallet, right? And that's the problem is enough people aren't able to do that, right? Like they can't help themselves or whatever the reason.
FOMO, anything, right? Yeah, friends are playing it, you want to play it. Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
This game has sold 20 million copies.
Yeah, so charging me $50 for a beta version of something I already had
I don't believe it's in beta because it is in 1.0.
Is it? Okay.
And I don't think you can call beta anything outside of anything higher than a 1.0. Probably going to have updates, but I don't think you can have anything a beta because 1.0 means it's a full release, I believe.
Okay.
But
I think I remember how many years ago on the Xbox when I bought it, it was $29.99, and I specifically remember that because I think it became a big joke with all of us because I couldn't. It took me like a couple weeks to buy it, and I kept asking what the price was, and eventually you were like $29.
That sounds about right. Asked me so many times I'll get to that point, where I yell at you.
Yeah.
And not just you, that's everybody. But I think I kind of got before the introduction happened, but it was one of the topics I forgot to mention in the pre-show, but Dan mentioning it sparked that. But back to it. We'll wrap it up. Andy, what have you been playing? How have you been? What's been going on with you, man?
Doing good. Been playing some more of the same. Played some more college football, and I've played a little bit more of Sherlock Holmes. Got a few missions in. So
same old. Love it.
Yep. So far. I
mean, with the time available, right? It's like just kind of picking at it as you can. I get it. John, what about you, good sir? How you been? What have you been playing lately?
Been all right. Let's see. We wrapped up. I wrapped up Office Simulator again. Had a quick little revisit. The game updated. Dropped the nice customization update. We got in there. We applied everything that they added. Had a good time in there. And then we buttoned it back up and we moved back on. So putting that game away until another update comes out. Tomorrow, I believe tomorrow is going to be my season finale of Car Dealer Simulator. So the fans of LB's Motors, get it while you can because we're gonna go on hiatus with the Car Dealer Simulator for a bit. Done everything that's there up to that point. So they'd still daily update the game with hot fixes and tweaks and whatnot, but they really haven't added in a lot of major content to pull me back in to go and record an hour's worth of work. So season finale of that coming up. Keep your eyes peeled. Which game goes away, that opens up a slot to throw one in. So we got some new games on the horizon. Keep your eyes open for that. We got one called Big Ambitions. Fell in love with that game. It's really fun. I got 4 episodes or 5 episodes in the can on that one. So those will be dropping soon. It's real fun. Drops you into New York City and you just sort of create your own empire, open up businesses and Live
That
your
was the
life
one you
there.
sell. Is that the one you sell cheap gifts in?
Yes, yeah, the cheap gifts one. So the first episode of that will be dropping soon, since Car Dealer Simulator will be out of the rotation. And then you know, my roadmap, Supermarket Simulator, the one that started us all. That the end is coming for that one. You know, and all I got left to do is expand the store, expand the original LBs, and then I've only got so many expansions, and then I've got everything that game's got to offer. So pretty soon that game will be wrapped up. So I've got some new games, like I said, sitting, waiting to crack into. Very excited about that. I've get a little tease. I got Storage Hunter Simulator, which never in a million years would I have ever thought that I would play that. It's not my shtick. You know,
The simulator game is not your stick.
Yeah, no, not simulator. Storage Hunter. You know, the popularity. Gosh, what was that? Like
Storage
10 years
Wars.
ago. You know, with storage. Storage Wars. But it wasn't just them. There was a few storage locker type reality shows. It became a big flash in the pan. You know, big deal. And I didn't do anything for me.
My favorite thing in that was for like
a video.
Box of junk, like $20. $20. It's worth $20. Like, what world is that worth? Are you just rationalizing the fact you lost so much money? You're like, I can get $50 on that easy. It's like it's a half of VCR. They're like $50.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yep. So I watched videos on it. Watched a couple trailers and that, and I was like, you know, it kind of looks a little fun. You get to do the storage lockers. You get to bid on them and all that, and you get to do just like Dan said. I got to look at my items and I get to go, well, I can make money off of that, and I have my own pawn shop. So we all know where this is going. Pretty soon, LB's Jewelry and Pawn will be opening up.
Another way to funnel that LB's drug money, right?
Let's see. We also got I got the Pub Life Simulator. Gonna crack into that one at some point. Opening up LB's bar, LB's Tavern, maybe. You know, gonna go down that road. And also very excited. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm gonna crack into this one, and I'm gonna move it up into my schedule. I have a lot of my videos recorded ahead of time, but I'm gonna start playing this one. I'm gonna drop them early. I'm gonna bring them up in my schedule because I want to get ahead of it. But I did go ahead and I bought Dead Take, and I'm gonna give that one a shot. Gonna record those and gonna see what that's all about, because that looked like a really good game, really fantastic. Looks like a good time.
Thank you for reading us your entire Steam library.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I
appreciate that. Thank you.
Year of your content.
It's been a busy week.
It has. I love it. You are sticking with the whole shtick of like simulator. This is who I am, huh? Like, I mean, that's kind of you're gonna stick with it until
that is my empire.
I mean, there is a slew of simulator games out there.
Laundromat, gas station, train, bus, like there's everything.
Speaking of,
but it's funny because some of them I look at and I'm like, nope, can't do it. I thought about the laundry simulator and I can't.
Lawnmower, do lawnmower simulator. I thought it was going to be dumb. I beat the whole thing.
Let me give you a little taste of a simulator game that I think you should be checking out.
Jordan beat you. Okay, I'm like in the sprites.
This is called
Bananamobile?
This one's called Car Park Capital. And your entire point is to basically demolish stuff and create parking lots.
Yeah.
And run it, and you see how well it goes. And then you have people who protest against, they're like, yeah, save the trees, less asphalt. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Destroying homes.
You get to promote. You obviously promote your stuff. You know, you have a caravan cars that goes around saying you love cars, and you billboards and all this kind of stuff. It's something I actually
industrial oil.
Yeah, it's something that I came up on my YouTube today. Just on Game Trailers, the YouTube channel there, but. Yeah, dude, that looks like it'd be a lot of fun, right? It's just one of those things where I think it's a new take on something that's already kind of established, but it's a new thing, right? I'm Might be fun. Could
This
be a good time.
100%. It looks like a
Wish list.
reskinned Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Well, yes, but obviously,
Roller Coaster Cartoon had flying UFO billboards for parking garages.
Capital.
I really think this one looks like a good time. This one just looks fun. So
Yeah, silly and fun. It
looks
Go
like
pay
make
Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Okay. You getting philosophical, musical over there?
Ooh,
I wonder how I could incorporate Elby's into that one.
Making room for LB's Motors, your lot storage.
I mean, I'm sure you get to name your empire. I'm sure you get to, right? I mean,
LB's
have to.
parking.
yeah, LB's parking.
Right,
Parking
but
service-
uh,
parking
part
services.
Part of the fun is coming up with something unique. And when I say unique, I don't mean the name LB's. I mean something to go with LB's Motors, LB's International,
LB's Valet.
Okay. LB's parking. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't know.
LB's
That'd be a
lots.
good one.
LB's lots.
LB's asphalt. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of different
LB's
shit.
asphalt.
But yeah, I thought that'd be a cool little thing that I stumbled upon today.
That is a good find.
But I myself, I'm trying to think. I haven't. 7 Days to Die kind of took off for us in our little group. So we've been playing that a little bit here lately. I need to get back to. I'm still at A, right, of my whole going through my physical library of stuff. So there's gonna be some games I'm gonna skip that I've already played, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins.
They're so good though. You gotta replay them.
I'm not playing over 100 hours of Odyssey again. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You gotta go ram some ships, man.
Dude, no, Spartan kicking people off of cliffs is the best thing in the game. I think I'll probably have to see where I'm at in Syndicate because I never did complete that. But then the one after that is one I'm excited about, and that's Atomfall. That released in Game Pass,
British
which
Fallout or whatever.
Yeah, kind of was. I think it's more British, less Fallout because it's not as wide open, but more BioShock. I think is kind of the sense for that. British Metro. If you guys have played the Metro series, that's kind of what it's like.
Yep.
That might be my whole next thing that I do. I don't know. There's a fantastic game, and I don't want to spoil anything that we're talking about games coming out, but Mafia: The Old Country comes out this Friday, and I'm in it. I really want to play that game.
Time to put your 3-piece suit on, get your Tommy gun ready.
I'm gonna need to, man. But I'm trying to think of it says open world adventure, but I don't think this game is as open world as some of the previous ones. I think it's more a little bit confined, which is gonna be the I think what I want out of it. So but yeah, should be a good time. I've been having fun playing games as much as I can. We have some other ones. You can see there's a little bit of a spoiler. We'll watch the trailer here. Dan introduced me to this one. I don't know how I missed it because I did not even catch the THQ Digital Showcase, I think is what it was called.
Nordic Showcase.
THQ Nordic.
Showcase.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised.
Embracer.
Normally I'm on top of that shit. So Dan this one slipped through my radar and Dan presented it.
I had a find. Go me.
But it is
everybody
called,
gets one.
It is called Fatekeeper. I'm going to put it on the screen here now. But it's a
vibe.
Yeah, first person Elder Scrolls type Skyrim type of game. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, but it looks graphically fantastic, right? Again, we're not going to have audio, but you can get the kind of the idea of what we're looking at here. But man, does this game do it for me, right? I'm gonna skip up here. It's a 3-minute thing, but it looks really, really good once I get to the
scenery, the level,
the actual gameplay and the scenery and what the game looks like. So looks fantastic. Combat looks like it's a lot of fun. It kind of gives that dual, like, two-hand BioShock feel, right? Is how I put it. And also obviously Skyrim. But God, dude, it looks really, really good. And I'm really excited about it. I don't know the premise. I haven't looked a lot because I kind of like the fact that it's under the radar for me. Dan, is this kind of coming into like one of those games you're probably gonna look into getting pretty close in the release?
Yeah, I say so. I mean, and not to say because I didn't play, I could probably play more of it, but like Avowed was kind of in the same thing. When you get something in that Elder Scrolls ish vein, right, where first person, obviously RPG like type thing, like those are always going to pique my interest initially, right? And then how does it go from there?
But real quick, for those watching this and for you guys too, I feel bad because this is in like not the quality you should watch it. So if you have a 4K device or anything 4K, give it a shot because it is really, really good. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, you're fine. But I say so. Like I'm always piqued by interest. Games like that. Some turn out to be better than others, right? This one, again, as you said, it looks graphically impressive. They show you a little bit here. There's some magic, obviously. It looks like to it. There's some good combat to it. Looks like maybe a little, dungeon hunting, puzzling, which is kind of all those elements of your Skyrims, your Oblivions, like those types of things, and that always gets, me hooked in. Where it's kind of the challenge is what you make of it, right?
Yep.
Like it's what I compared it to in terms of some of the armor looks and the graphical impressiveness is like your Elden Ring, right? Like these impressive sceneries, these impressive stage set pieces, the real detailed armor, kind of stuff mixed with the somewhat, I would say, more straightforward, simpler gameplay of a Skyrim type game.
Yeah, I think if you've played Avowed, there's another game that this kind of reminds me of that came out recently, and it's called Tainted Grail. I can't remember. There's like a colon name after it, but I think Avalon, Tainted Grail Avalon, I think is what it's called. But that's another one that's fantastic. Kind of taking what Bethesda and those kind of crews have been really, really good at and almost amplifying it, right? I don't need, if this is a focused, I sound like a broken record, but a focused 20 to 30 hour game, but it's a little bit, the world is open, but it's not as massive as those Elder Scrolls games. I'm more in than I would be. I think if you give me, this is a 60-hour adventure, you're going to be playing it for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So that's something that I'm really, really excited about.
2 years. You only got 2 years in Skyrim? Come on. Yeah. Those rookie numbers.
But like, it's just, I think this looks really, really good. It is by a developer that has done, what did they make? I'm sorry. I was trying to figure it out here. It's from the developers behind Spellforce 3. So that's something that they've done in the past. I'm not familiar with that game specifically. But it looks really, really good. I'm excited for this kind of style of a game, but, thank you for showing me. I don't know, Andy, did this do anything for you? I know these larger games you're trying to pick away at some of the smaller games you have, but any of these larger games kind of, this do anything for you?
I got plenty of large games that I need to play, and it's hard to stick to it for so long. Games like this, I'm like interested in them, but it's kind of hard for me to stay, with them. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's a difficulty thing, which I'm trying to,
get better.
No,
I'm trying to get good.
Not get better. Yeah, try to get good. Yeah, I'm trying to, just put it on a difficulty where I can enjoy it, but it's old habits die hard.
I love
kind of deal.
I love that you're teasing a future topic that we've got for the opinion. That's fantastic. Love that.
And so it's something I'll definitely keep an eye on because it does look really awesome. But so we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll keep my eye on it.
I will mention, I forgot, it did say that part of what's kept the hype down is the fact that right now it's only been announced for PC in the window of early access. So as I say, so you got plenty of time to decide.
I can see why. I mean, you know what I mean? As of right now, I can see why, but yeah, hype will build once it's like, oh, everybody has an opportunity, right? I think that'll be really cool. If you haven't, Dan, if you should really get into Avowed, I think if you actually gave it a good college try, I think you'd really,
I
really
put about
enjoy
an
it.
hour and I put about like an hour and a half into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just I didn't get quite hooked the way I was
Mhm.
expecting.
There's so many opportunities for like loot and finding stuff and climbing things and figuring out the puzzle to get to that chest.
I did notice that
it's
there's
really,
a lot
really
of
good.
climbing. Like, how do you get in this part of the building? Puzzling. That's
Yeah,
pretty obvious. Really,
it's really, really good. I would highly recommend, especially with it being in Game Pass, and it's not going anywhere because it is.
No,
And it's a first party game, but definitely should look into that. John, I know you. I think the people are pretty much going to understand. You can appreciate that game looks fantastic. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's kind of where you're at, right?
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth.
That's what I thought.
next topic.
Visually stunning, but it doesn't move my needle.
Yeah. It's
John's like, all this kind of stuff I can do, options, detail. Oh, not for me.
you get all these things. It's one of those
Can I
things.
name my guy? You can name him LB. You can name your character LB.
True. That's true. If that'll do it for you, character creator, right?
Call it RPG Simulator.
Oh man. So yeah, that was one that was announced recently. And then also we have another announcement that Andy put on here. Andy's looking forward to it. Not terribly long, it's only 56 seconds long, but I think it's more of an announcement teaser. But that is going to we'll switch over here. That is going to a little game called Darksiders 4. Andy, talk me through it. Are you a big fan of the other three? Is that kind of what got you into this one? There's actually more
Big
than
fan
that.
of. There's a fourth one called Genesis. Never played that one.
Gotcha.
Don't know much about it. I think it's a different type of
Mhm.
game. Love the first two. Beat them both. Have not really done a whole lot with 3. However, where it looks like we're going back to, we have all of we have death, we have war. Look at all the horsemen here.
Yep, for sure.
We got 4 now, and instead of just 1. So that hoping maybe you're playing as more than just 1 here, in this game. That would be awesome. 3, did get some of the more middling reviews, so I'm not like hurting that I haven't played that one yet, but still really excited for this because it is a great series that I quite enjoy.
I played the first one, I believe. And it was like at a time where I fit perfectly. It was like that time where I was like, because that's a 360 game, right? Darksiders 1. That generation, right? I think that generation. So
I think they remastered it for the next consoles,
right.
Xbox One and such.
So I think for me, it fit in that weird, like, when I was obsessed with Vanquish, right? Yep. Fucking love Vanquish to this day. Still very underrated game, and is just absolute nonsense. And I loved every aspect. That's where that game kind of fits to me. Is like, okay, cool. It was felt hack and slash, very much God of War style. That was like, you're doing cool stuff, cool abilities as you go. You're doing cooler and cooler things. So it'll be cool to get to something like this. I am actually on the Darksiders 4 website. And it says the legendary saga of the 4 horsemen continues in Darksiders 4, an all new action adventure set in an apocalyptic version of Earth, and continues where the original Darksiders game left off. So this is going to take place right after the first one, which is cool. Darksiders 4 is a third-person action adventure game featuring combat, traversal, and puzzle solving in a lore-rich post-apocalyptic world. This game features, Andy, you were talking about hopefully playing as the 4 of them or picking your character, right? This says game features here. Choose your horsemen. Take up one of the legendary horsemen, each with their own unique weapons and combat style. So that's kind of cool. Adds a little bit of variety to it and replayability. Cinematic combat, experience first-paced visceral action, blending melee, fluid traversal, and supernatural abilities. And then last, it says expansive realms to explore, journey through apocalyptic landscapes, each teeming with secrets, enemies, and mythic bosses. So yeah, you kind of get your wish there with the multiple playable characters, which is cool, I think.
Nice.
Because I'm not, it's been a long time since I played this, especially the first one. Do you recall in 2 who you play as?
So one was one war or was it death?
I think one was war, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Then I think in 2 it was death.
You play as war in the first one. Okay, yeah. And then Darksiders 2, you said death. I was just confirming. So. Yep, you are correct. Yeah, you do play as death in that one. So then in 3, didn't you play as a
female?
You play as Fury. Fury, one of the 4 horsemen. Yeah.
An actual one, Pestilence.
So then who are we missing? What did you say, Dan? What's the last one?
I believe Pestilence is
Pestilence. Okay.
From the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm assuming they're.
So the only one who hasn't had actual gameplay yet, as far as I know. Maybe it was in Genesis for whatever I know. But I think that's really cool that these older, I don't want to say old because 3's not that old, right? But you know what I mean? Stuff that went away that has come back and these companies are giving new life to, which is really, really cool.
I was wrong. It looks like it's famine. They are war, famine, death, and conquest.
Got you. Okay, Darksiders Genesis main character is Strife, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right.
So who fucking knows, right?
Summon his brother War. Okay.
So that's kind of what we're looking at there. I don't know. We'll see. It's exciting. Probably going to be a fantastic game, especially if you like those action adventure games. So
there was a pestilence in an interpretation, so I was right technically.
By technicality, Dan is correct. Hey, you got to take them when you get them. You'll take them when you get them. Win. But I think that's pretty cool. Darksiders series coming back to the forefront. Seems like a lot of people might be excited about that one. Another topic. I stumbled upon this kind of last minute. PC Gamer article here. This is by Andy Chalk. Indie horror game rejected by Steam releases for free instead. Quote from one of the developers in the headline says, "This is our response to being censored and our rejection of the idea that horror can be defined as acceptable or not." This article again comes from PC Gamer. Despite containing no uncensored nudity or sex acts, Vile, Exhumed, was banned on Steam just ahead of its planned release in July. Indie horror game Vile Exhumed launched today as a free donationware game under a Creative Commons license, following the cancellation of its planned release on Steam in July, reportedly over its presence of, quote unquote, from Steam, sexual content with depictions of real people. Allegedly. Right, of course. Which is a weird thing that for a platform that allows all sorts of anime shit and nudity and hentai stuff, right? Very, very strange stance for that. Goes on to say Vile Exhumed had been listed on Steam and was slated for a release of July 22nd. The page is now gone, but still visible via the Internet Archive, which fantastic. According to SteamDB, the page was taken down on July 25th. In a message posted on Blue Sky a few days later, solo developer Hara Cadaver, said Vile Exhumed had been banned for, quote unquote, sexual content with depictions of real people. Although she added that all such content is all implied, making all this feel even worse. Dread XP also noted that Vile Exhumed has, quote unquote, no uncensored nudity, no depictions of sex acts, and no pornography present at all.
The only thing I can see so far is that it says that
share it with me for research purposes, please.
It says that the main character in it is an adult, like her background is an adult film actress. Like, but other than that, I can't see where they're talking about like the adult or the whatever sexual content so far.
Yeah,
that's the closest thing I've read that mentions anything about.
The article keeps going. It says Valve has prohibited depictions of real people in adult games on Steam for a while now, so the rule of citing wasn't created in a response to its recent dust up with payment processors. Which, if you're not familiar with that, we're not getting into that. That's a whole big ass bush of weeds and all that kind of shit that I don't want to get into. Yeah.
It does say it's a blend of point and click, mystery, retro immersion, and analog horror, but it does tackle heavy themes of sexual violence and trauma based through like using the internet for, it says, where did they phrase it? Basically, like the game focuses on like the risk of like abuse through the internet, it looks like. Parasocial relationships and an unchecked obsession with people that way.
Yeah, it's just weird, right? I don't know if I agree with it off the cuff, right? I haven't looked into this a lot, but it just goes kind of in hand with that whole mess of the payment processors, which they say they don't have anything to do with removing adult content games, but just one of those things where I think good on that developer to be like, I'm going to release the game for free then and just release it in the places where I can. Work. Yeah, I still want people to be able to play it. It doesn't sound like it's terribly bad, but now guess what? I wouldn't have known this game existed. I do now. And now I have a chance to play it, paid or not paid. And this is publicity one way or another for this developer, right? It's a solo developer too.
Solo developer, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it sucks this person won't be getting funds from the game that they have made and put their time and effort into, but also this may benefit them long term.
Overall,
hard to see now, but may benefit them long term. So, silver lining, I guess, maybe of having the a game censored like that. Next we got some releases here. Microsoft announces their lineup of Game Pass games for August 2025, Wave 1. Some good ones I have not played yet in here, which is really, really cool. For those of you with Game Pass, this is always really, really fantastic. So Xbox Game Pass Wave 1, August 2025 lineup. Rain World, cloud, console, and PC came out today. So that was announced as the day went. We have Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, coming out for this console, Series X and S, tomorrow. Lonely Mountains, Snow Riders. I have tried that game. That game is a little, it's like, you remember the game Trials?
Yeah.
And you guys remember the Trials games of the motorcycle and you were like, go up the ramp and like try to, that's kind of what this is. Yeah. Kind of what this is, but in a downhill fashion versus an up trying to climb stuff. Kind of the same thing, but you're on you're on skis and it's same premise. Try to make it down to the bottom as quickly, however you can manage to do it. So that's kind of cool. Mech Warrior 5 Clans for the consoles coming out tomorrow as well. Orcs Must Die, Death Trap. I played one of these recently. I don't know if it was 4 or if it was this one specifically. But I actually had a good time with it. This is a wave-based horde mode kind of a thing. Set up your traps, set up the way to beat the level as they pile through and see how long you can last. That's what it is. A lot of fun there. But the good ones for me are the next 3, and they come out later. It looks like we have Assassin's Creed Mirage is hitting Game Pass, which is really cool. Cloud, console, and PC for that one. That's on August 7th. I know I've dipped my toes into that, so it would be cool to go back and just play it for that. That'd be really cool.
That's
just
the one
as a
reminder. Is that the one that's over in like Middle East?
Yeah, that's the most recent one outside of Shadows.
Okay, that's what I think. Yeah,
Shadows is the most recent, but Mirage is the second more recent. And then Aliens Fireteam Elite also coming out for cloud, console, and PC on the 7th. And then that's kind of your standard. I don't know, what do you call it? Co-op
like
shooter.
XCOM.
No, this one's this one's a 3-player co-op. It's more like a first person. How do you say it? What is one of those games? You ever played like Vermintide?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so it's like point you started, you load in, you have a class, you pick your class, then you try to make it to the end of the map and try to escape. That's kind of what this is like. Aliens Fireteams is a cooperative third-person survival shooter which drops players into a role of a colonial marine. Don't say those things together with that game. Remember that game?
Oh yeah,
was it Alien Colonial Marines or whatever the hell that was called?
Yeah.
Aboard the USS Endeavor, recently tasked with answering a distress call from the Outer Colonies. So online co-op multiplayer for that one. And then last but not least, we have a game called Nine Kings. This is I'm trying to see, what do they classify this game as? A fast-paced kingdom builder roguelike. Grow your empire with dozens of unique cards, fight massive battles against nine kings, break the game with thousands of insane builds, and become the king of kings. Roguelites are today's hot thing, the trend, right?
Triple H is king of kings, dude.
Triple H is the king of kings. You can't, you're not playing. Can't replace him. What are we doing? So a good lineup. Any of those kind of tickle anybody's fancy they might jump into? John, any for you, do you think? I'm going to assume no, but you never know. You like to surprise me. Huh?
Not on this day, though.
That's all right.
Maybe next month.
Okay. That's all right. Maybe wave 2, right?
Yeah, wave 2.
What about you, Andy? Any of those games speak to you? Touch your soul?
Maybe the Aliens one might give it a try, but other than that, no, not really.
Gotcha.
To be honest.
Mirage, man, that's gonna be cool. Since Origins, all the versions since Origins have been great. Oh, okay. I like the direction they went with the more open stuff. I know some people don't. I like it.
This one isn't that though. This is more comes
This
back.
is more like
yeah.
original.
I'm still looking forward to trying it with more modern.
Yeah, movement and stuff. Yeah,
controls,
yeah. Have you guys gone back and played any of the old ones, like in some time?
I tried Black Flag years back.
I'm talking old ones, Dan. Like, have you played Assassin's Creed 1 or 2, or even? No. I'll even say 3. I'll probably loop in Brotherhood and Revelations. Those ones, the movement is very, very much improved from what definitely the first one was like. My God, the first one you're ugh.
The furthest back I went was, I think it was the last one that came out on 360, and I'm not remembering what it was called. It was after 3, but before Black Flag
was on 360.
Rogue,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and played that one because I had never played it before, and
the one that everybody forgets about.
Yeah, I was like, this is rough.
Yeah.
John hasn't played him because if you recall, he didn't remember somebody died. Who I won't name it to make him upset again.
Yeah, that's right. Spoiler
again.
Yeah, Andy said something. He's like, "What?" And it's been like that for over a decade.
Oh man, but good lineup. I mean, some fun games to check out. If you have Game Pass, you can always just pop it on, download it, and go for it and see what it's all about. Moving on there. This one is the opinion piece that I kind of wanted to talk about. Andy, you talked about difficulty earlier. I'm going to hit you, John, with this first, but this is an article from Kotaku. It says, basically, it says, just lower the difficulty, you fragile, ridiculous people. And this comes from the sub headline here is people are giving up on games rather than just playing on easy. An updated post a few weeks back from the creative director of Souls-like The First Berserker Kazan, which is a game that I have played. And I have actually, it's funny that this is the reference. I have played it and I put it down because I was like, this is not doing it for me. I have it. I'll get to it. But I was also at a point where I was playing 2 to 3 Souls-like games. And I was like, I don't want this much pain in my life. So I moved on. But spotted in Eurogamer today reveals the astonishing fact that the action game players would rather give up and stop playing than switch to easy mode. And I am here to address these people. Oh my goodness, pull yourself together is what it says. The rest of the article will go on to talk about different things, but this original article does come from Eurogamer. But this one is a follow-up to that from John Walker at Kotaku. But John, I wanted to talk to you about it, get everybody's take, but I'll start with you because I haven't heard your voice in a little bit. So are you one of those people? And it could have been at different stages, right? So it could have been earlier on when you had more time and more commitment to actually sitting down and playing, given what we are now as, mid-30s adults with families and children.
Yeah, with families and kids, all of us.
Do you have any shame first off, of lowering the difficulty in a game that you may be struggling with?
In my mid 30s, not 1 ounce of shame, not at all. And I have 2 examples.
Okay.
College football. I'm in a Facebook group, and I am as anonymous gets on Facebook. I'm in a bunch of groups. You ain't ever gonna see a comment from me because I lurk in the shadows and I'm just a scroller.
There you go. That's fine.
But the college football game, it's nice to be a part of the groups because you get info from them. So it's nice to learn about the games. It's nice to learn tips and tricks and news and update things, so on and so forth. So it's fun to be a part of these groups. But I got nothing to say to anybody in them. But the majority of the people in one of the college football Facebook groups that I'm in, they browbeat the fact that they play on Heisman difficulty, and they will list the sliders, and they'll be like, oh, you have to set this to this and this one to this and this one to this. That's going to get you the most realistic playing that you're going to get. And you have to play on Heisman because anything less than Heisman is child's play. And I'm like, just give me the game. Let me play it on. I'm not a freshman. I don't play it on freshman difficulty. Give me varsity difficulty. Got no shame in playing that. But absolutely, I cannot roll my eyes hard enough when I see those posts from those people talking about like Heisman or bust on that game. And then those same people will bitch and moan about how hard the game is.
That's a different topic I would like to talk about maybe today. Maybe we get to it, maybe we don't. But like meta gaming is in every aspect of genre is something that we should discuss in the future. And that's kind of what that is. It's like you have to play on hard, but you have to put all the sliders to this, and you have to make it a perfect game. And this is how you take advantage of it. We'll talk about that and more, but continue. What's your other example?
My other one is Resident Evil. A year ago, I think, was it a year ago? I think it was early summer last year, June 24. I think you and I embarked on our little goal where we wanted to start Resident Evil 0 and work our way through the series. Mm-hmm. Now, let's see. I believe we are both still on 4, right? I think that's.
I just need to start 4.
0. We just both. Yeah, exactly. We did 0, 1, 2, 3. And then we stopped. and that was a year ago. But in going on that journey, 0, 1, 2, and 3, I had never played 0 before. Mm-hmm. I've of course played 1. And this was the remake version of 1 on the So it was the GameCube remake that was then remastered to Xbox 2015. So I had beaten that one before and played it. So I was familiar with that game, and then I had never played the remake of RE2 or the 3-make version. I had never played those. So 0, 2, and 3, those were all brand new to me, and I played on easy, and I had no shame in playing on easy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I go one step further. I had my phone next to me with a YouTube video. Walking through, and I would watch 30 seconds. I'd watch 30 seconds to a minute of what they're doing. They'd go into a room. This is what they do, and then I'd pause it, and then I'd go do that, and then I would watch the video again, the next room, and do that. And I have zero shame in that because I'm too old to get to poop my pants. By getting scared by something.
Never too old. Not to poop your pants.
It gets worse. I hear it gets worse when you get older, John. I hate to break it to you.
No, it's acceptable, and then it's not acceptable, and then it will become acceptable again. But I'm in this window where I shouldn't.
I'm firmly in. Let it rip. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. We're all here. What showers are for.
So I had no problem.
Amen, brother.
The YouTube videos, they would show cutscenes. I would skip through those, and then when I would get to a cutscene in the game, I would watch that. But, I was satisfied 100%.
Yeah.
In my playthroughs of 0, 1, 2, 3, absolutely satisfied with that.
Answer this for me then. So is there a difference than you do you think you got more out of it playing that way on easy, following somebody's playthrough than you would have if you just watched, for example, the cutscenes? The gameplay added something to you, like for you, to that experience.
You mean like if I had just watched the YouTube video?
Yeah, because that sounds like you're very much. I would just love to get the story. Yeah, I would love to just get the story and go with it. Right? Do you think playing the game helped a little bit with that, or what do you think?
I did. No,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I was fine. Honestly, I'd never thought of it that way. Why even play the game if I'm just watching a YouTube video? But
I don't.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
totally-
I'm saying if that style, there's got to be something that the gameplay adds to it, or you would have just watched the cutscenes.
You
right?
know, I'll on that note, I will say that sort of. I apologize for this segue, but
Fuck.
I had a 2-year-old Minecraft world that I poured everything into. So much time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears.
Probably not blood.
Into my Minecraft world.
You better not have put blood into it.
For my Xbox to corrupt the file on it, and I have lost access to it. And that happened December. That happened 8 months ago, December of 2024, and it zapped my give a shit from Minecraft.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you know what that game means to me ever since it captivated my life.
Yeah, it makes
treat
sense.
Your friends like work slaves is what it means.
and the file corrupting on that absolutely zapped it, and I just have not been able to pick up a controller and faithfully go back into it. But daily I still watch YouTube videos of Minecraft, and I am 100% up to date on everything that's been added in the 8 months that I have not picked up a controller. And I do feel that is filling a gap for me.
Yeah, I got you. I see what you mean.
I'm sort of like, okay, I would like to play again. I'm just not ready. But in the meantime, these videos are whetting my appetite for it and going, okay, at least I'm seeing the new stuff in action. And so that's working. With the Resident Evil though, like I didn't even think about that. That never crossed my mind. I wanted to play the game, and I feel like I did channel, and I enjoyed my experience with controller in hand.
That's good. Okay. That's cool. And I think I've done that for one game, and I couldn't even tell you what game it is. For one that I was interested in, that I was like, I'm just going to watch the cutscenes because I think it was, I don't know. Either way. I've done it once. I don't know if I don't know.
I don't know if I mean,
some games you want the story, like Resident Evil. I will play those, right? I want to play those. I want to feel that shit again because it's good quality stuff.
But I don't know the idea of going through the RPD lost.
Yeah.
Not knowing, okay, what am I searching for? Trying to decipher these puzzles myself, trying to decode codes myself. Obviously you got letters and everything to help you what they are. I'm not sure that this small brain could have done it.
Yeah, I understand, like piecing everything together. But then that's the point of it, is like there's so much more time that goes into it. Those types of games, I'm fully on board with that, because like, hey, I want to experience the gameplay in between finding this medallion to put into this thing, finding this key, and then backtracking to this point to open this door, then get to the thing that I need to get. Right. Yeah. I completely feel that.
Yeah. But then, I only have maybe a 2-3 hour window in the evening, nighttime to play my game. On
select nights. That's not a nightly thing for you.
Correct. On select nights. I'm not able to 7 nights a week because of my family. Dan. just get on.
What? No, you speak like a man when you're talking to me, John.
Oh man.
And it would gnaw it would gnaw at my craw if I played for 3 hours and I only made like 20 minutes worth of progress.
I got you. No.
I'd feel like I wasted my night.
Yep. And I that's what I wanted to get at is I have I talked about Liza P, right? That's what I did. Put it on easy to get to the point that I needed to get to. Great. I had no problem doing that because I had already sacrificed 76 hours of my time to get to that point, and it was taken from me, kind of like your Minecraft stuff. I was at the point where I'm not going back. That's where I was at. But as I have aged to this point with different responsibilities as they are, I am very much in the firm belief of like, I'm just going to play the game, whatever I can to get it out of the way and absorb the content and the story and the gameplay and understand what it's there for and appreciate it for what I can. Right. Andy, is that where you're at? Like, do you have any shame in putting a game on easy, especially at this point in your life? Because there was very much a point in my life where I was like, nope, I'm playing it the way that these developers intended it to be played, which is always what normal is to me, is that's what they intended the gameplay to be like. But how do is that kind of how you are?
I'm trying to get that way because I have limited time and I want to play the game and enjoy it during that time, kind of like John was saying. And putting it on easy would be the way to do that. But it hasn't been the easiest thing because I've always been play on normal. Never played on hard. That seems silly to me. But I'll always try to like start on normal, and then if it's too difficult, I would like to switch it back to easy, but sometimes I just give up on it. So I'm at the point where I should probably just start on easy and just enjoy the game and go from there. I have done it sometimes. I think maybe Alan Wake 2, I did that. If you just want to enjoy the narrative or something, I'm like, that's what I want. I want to enjoy this game, and I felt no problem doing that with that game. I'm pretty sure I switched that to easy pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
So it's something that I should do just every single time I start a game now, but it's kind of been a tough, switch for me because like you said, my whole life I've been like play on normal, and that's just, it's because I want a challenge, but I also want to enjoy myself. And I don't want it to be so easy where I'm not actually having fun anymore. So it's kind of been this like juggling of logic in my brain.
Right.
So maybe I should start on easy, and if I feel like it's too easy, switch it back to normal. So maybe I'll give that a try next time. But
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like them naming it narrative instead of easy.
Yes.
Because then it's
that made me easier to choose it, because I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want.
I do want I do want the story out of this game. You're right.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
However, if you remember Resident Evil 1, remember it's not easy, normal, hard. It's like a brisk walk, or it's like, how do you enjoy?
I'll look it up.
And it tricked you. It tricked you, remember? And you were like, well, I like this. And that was like super extreme hard difficulty mode.
Yeah. Is it the RE? Was it the first one, right? Yeah, it was just one.
It was one. It was one.
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to find it. Damn it. You're right though. I was like, oh yeah, I do want that. And then I picked it and I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Oh man, what was it?
At the beginning, the questions they ask you, in terms of play, how do you get the best experience? I'm reading a Reddit thread real quick.
Yeah. Forgot all about that. Forgot that.
Mountain climbing, hiking, and walking, something along
Yep.
those lines.
Yeah.
When you're taking a walk or whatever.
Yep.
How do you like your games? Like, do you like it like a walk? Do you like a hike, or do you like climbing a mountain? And that attributes to what it is.
It's a weird way to put it. That's a very.
It was a very and it tricked you, and then you ended up and then you like I said, you play for 3 hours, but you only made like 20 minutes worth of progress. Like you burned a couple nights.
Well, I think
to the
I
point
called
where
you.
I think you threw the towel in.
I was done.
And you were like, you know what? I have to start over. I can't do this. You put yourself in a position, I think, of like no ammo, and you were like, I literally, you were at a wall.
I died and didn't save. That's what it was. I lost, I don't know how many hours, because I was trying to do the don't save achievement. Right?
Yeah.
I was trying to do that while doing it on a hard difficulty. What the fuck was I thinking? First off, but then second, right? And then I lost, I don't know how many hours, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I did the same thing.
Can't do it.
Same thing when Liza P came up. Dan, get in this conversation. How you feeling, man? I know you like to play everything on all get good levels of excellence. So
So again, kind of no shame there at all. A perfect example, I play Age of Empires 2 is my favorite, right? And that's got they continue to add content for that, right? And for a lot of the stuff, like there's challenges, right? Like you can defeat the AI on, in a one-on-one match at whatever difficulty. You'll go look. I don't have the ones in like extreme and hard a lot, because it's hard. And like to some of their campaigns, right? Like the campaign, they have ways of rating it, right? Like 1 sword means overall it's like that's not a hard campaign. 2 swords, 3 swords, like. But in like what's supposed to be an easy campaign, you can be like, oh, okay, decent misengagement, and then have a highest max difficulty mission. And I will beat my head against some of those for hours, and then finally, there's plenty of ones where I just put in IR winner. You win, and it just moves you to the net. What it doesn't do is it give you any achievement, and it tells you used a code or whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. And I've actually had they have a couple campaigns where it's like mission 3 out of 8 or whatever is the only one it's not beaten. Like, because I just can't, and I'm like, I have no shame in just saying I want to see what the rest of the stuff is. I'm going to move on. I mean, and like John with the football, like, we played Madden, we've done things together. I'm like, let's not put it on, all Madden difficulty. Like, maybe not even all pro
player. Like, please, I didn't play football. I don't mind simulating with a controller.
I want a challenge, but also like all Madden, it's for the people that they're doing 15 pre-snap things, right?
Yes.
Like they're adjusting everything. Like I don't have it's sounds old, whatever. It's just too fast. I can't do 6 adjustments in the 10-second pre-snap, right? That you have to do to be able to compete at that level. Like I'm fine with being like, okay, I can do some things here, and I still have to, time my throws right. I still have to make sure I'm calling a decent play, but it's also not going to brutally punish me if I'm a little off, right, or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I feel that.
That's what I want to do. I want to enjoy it. I feel like I have a, somewhere I feel like there's some challenge. It's not just you're dead, but also not like what you watched me panic when I played Elden Ring for the first time, whatever, where I was like, oh, I've been by the first church here grinding for 6 days for no reason because I'm scared to go further.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's a cool topic. I mean, I think with us being all in the same basically time period of our life, right? Our life,
and having families and kids and stuff.
Yeah, families and kids. We all relate to that. We get it, right?
Yeah, we get it.
You love them, but you hate them,
Yeah. So I think it's a cool topic, especially for us. I feel like if this was watched by a wider audience, right, it would be one of those things where we're probably in the minority because of the general audience that is consuming the content that it is. But I don't give a shit. None of us, I don't think, care. Right?
We'll probably bring on the comments. I would love to have that conversation with some comments. So I would love for some people to comment on their opinions on difficulty, and for those in favor of it, fucking why?
Right. But I think also if you had more time, and it's not just you, but everybody, I think it goes without saying, if you had more time and you're like, I would like to be challenged here, that's so be it. There's some games, BioShock, I played on harder difficulty after I played it because I deeply loved that game and I wanted to see what else it looked like. Right. So I was like,
had you beaten it on an easier difficulty? I
beat it on normal when it came. Yeah. Just straight up.
Okay. So you beat it on the normal difficulty and you were like, all right, like I'm going to play the game again and I'm going to up the difficulty. I feel like that's a different side of the coin.
Right.
Playing a game for the second or the third time versus playing a game for the first time and going into hard mode.
I remember Call of Duty always being like, you couldn't play on, I think it was Veteran, I think is what it was called. You couldn't play that first. If I remember correctly, you had to beat the game, then go back and play it on Veteran. I could be wrong.
I've been waiting for a moment to chime in here to say that all this difficulty conversation, and I have it's 2025, and I still have not beaten the World at War campaign on veteran difficulty, and I think I'm like 5 or 6 missions into it. Every couple of years, I get the itch to like, you know what, I need to try and finish this campaign, and I get in there, and I think I beat maybe a mission. And then I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And then the game goes away for a couple years.
Explain this to me, because you and I played, I think it was Modern Warfare 2 and or 3, Spec Ops. You remember that? And we got all the stars on every single one of those, regardless of how much bullshit was happening.
Juggernauts.
Right? And it was difficult. It was very tough. It was very tough. But why did we do that?
And we're gonna throw every foundational piece that we've been standing on for the last 15 minutes. I'm gonna throw out there because I'm gonna say the accomplishment of getting those felt so good. So if somebody comes in the comments and just parrots off me, and that's exactly what it is. It's the accomplishment of doing it. You know what? I'll yield that.
What you just said,
those Spec Ops, that felt so good to get those done.
What you just said is how it feels. But every single boss in every single Souls-like that I've played, that's the feeling I get from completing and finally beating that boss.
You helped me beat that tree sentinel. The tree sentinel, and I was like, oh my god! I used that weapon forever. It wasn't even strong, but I was like, I fucking beat that thing. Not even a boss. I thought it was like just the ones. Yeah. I was so stoked.
But that's I think what the addicting part of the Souls-like games is in a nutshell is that you beat a boss, somebody you've been playing for fucking 2 hours. You finally beat him because you've got the patterns down. You may have been like, oh, if I use this weakness, it's all figuring it out. There was a wider conversation that I said the meta gaming is ruining gaming to some people, because as soon as a game comes out, they're like, what's the best thing? What is it? If you are playing a game, you get an hour or two in it and you're automatically looking up what's the best build and or, thing to use. That's what you're immediately diminishing what the game is supposed to be and finding those things out and finding your build and building it out. What, dude? What do you want?
I know that you guys don't play RuneScape, but that's something that like it's notorious for. Is it's like they call it the ultimate min-maxing game. Is that the people like that? There's so many people that like I tell them I'm doing that, and they're like, "Oh, like it's all about how do I maximize efficiency? Like like what's the fastest, most efficient way to level, as opposed to like what am I just enjoying doing? Right? Like, and there's a lot of people that are they can't wrap their heads around the fact that like, why are you, like you should be making this with your oak logs and not this, like, because you get, it's all, and they have a tick metronome on like measuring tick times, and like you do drag drop instead of, clicking this way. And it's like, for some people, that's the thing. Yeah. They get in and they immediately figure out what is that. For me, I'm like, that seems so like it's a game, not a math problem, right?
100%. But I think that's
Minecraft. People jump in there and they want to speed run and get the Ender Dragon, get their Netherite, get Elytra. Okay, now what? In they're not enjoying the ride.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's for two
It's
people who
how
enjoy
fast
it.
can I get to the
Yeah.
end game? How fast can I get the best loadout? How fast can I get the best armor? How fast can I
Yep.
get the best
And that's fine for
equipment?
those that want to do that. But I think for those that immediately are playing a game, they get a slight bit of friction from the game back on them. They go to the internet and say, "Oh, what is the best build for this class of a character I'm playing as?" And you're like, "Figure it out,
Weeb.
Just figure what? Just figure it out and go from there." So like that's what a lot of people have been. I've hearing the opinion of is like, what's the best Warzone weapon? What is the new meta for the ARs? What's the best SMG to use? Oh, I need to use this. Now everybody's using it. Now they're like, "Oh my God, nerf this gun." And it's just a vicious cycle of that kind of stuff. It never ends because they're like, "Nerf this. Oh, now this gun's the best. Okay, now nerf that one." So it's one of those things where it's the internet and that content has definitely increased over the years.
This topic could go maybe a whole episode itself.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, 1,000,000%. A couple more points here. One, talk about just kind of a quick announcement that got announced, I think, recently. Nintendo Indie World Showcase is going to be happening on the 7th. That is normally happens, I think, somewhat close to the actual direct, which it is. It's about a week apart from the direct that occurred. So that's kind of cool. We'll see what comes out of there. A lot of people have high hopes. Silk Song is on everybody's wish list ever, and they're really hoping it appears somewhere at some time, and the game actually is coming out. So we'll see. It's supposed to be coming out 2025. We'll see how true that is. So that's kind of cool, exciting there. And then the next one here is an article from Andy. This article is from Tom's Hardware, which is where I got it, but this topic is from Andy. Nintendo raises prices on the Switch 1, making last gen console a hard sell as the Switch 2 is increasingly easy to find in stock. This is by Joey Morales. Nintendo just announced a price hike for the US that will hit all original Switch 1 handheld consoles, select Switch 2 accessories, and the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. I know everybody's getting that. According to its announcement, the company made these adjustments based on market conditions, and they will take effect starting August 3rd, 2025. Thankfully, the cost of the Nintendo Switch game titles for both Switch 1 and 2 and Nintendo Switch Online memberships remain the same. Why would that go up if it's just a membership? Anyways, however, the gaming giant also said that price adjustments may be necessary in the future. Ooh, shocker. So I'm going to touch on the original price of the Nintendo Switch, $299.99, which has been that way for a long time, I think. But the new price is going up $40 to $339.99. So you're going to be paying almost $350 for a... How old is this? 9-year-old system.
10 years.
That's wild.
Wow.
The Switch, Nintendo Switch OLED model is going from $349.99 up to $400. That's insane. Nintendo Switch Lite going from $200 to $230. The Sound Clock going up from $99.99 to $110. And the Joy-Con 2 controllers going up from $94.99 to $100 for a pair of Joy-Con for the Switch 2. That's crazy, right? So, Andy, what the fuck's going on with Nintendo Switch 2 or the Nintendo Switch, man?
Well, they said it's due to market conditions, and there's obviously multiple things going into that. I mean, raising the price of a system this old is, unprecedented. Like, this has never happened before. We were just talking last time about lowering the prices of these old systems.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think that they've already sold all the Switch ones they're going to sell. I mean, it's the best-selling console of all time. Who else is going to buy a Switch? So I don't really understand the logic in it. I mean, so I also understand that the price is going up in Canada. It's not just in the United States.
Right.
So, what exactly is market conditions. What does that mean exactly?
You would like a little
I'd
bit
love
more
to know more.
transparency. Yeah, a little bit more transparency
I
on
would
it.
love
I
to
got
know
you.
more about what that is. If it's not just because of what's going on, in the U.S. Um, yeah, it seems very odd. Nintendo has been doing a lot of odd things um, recently, and I get right now they don't want to raise the price of the Switch 2. That's probably smart. They're trying to build that base. Um, it's just so strange, so unprecedented, and I just don't really understand how raising these prices by $10 to $50 is going to
Right.
help them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And well, you have to think also if it is a tariff thing or just general economics. If it's tariffs, you have to think these were already technically probably here, right?
right.
You know what I mean?
A
So
lot of them
like,
probably.
so that isn't necessarily where the price hike should be applied to. You know what I mean? And I know there's probably a gray area. Well, when do you really actually do it? Blah, blah, blah. But you got to think that these were probably already here. That's my takeaway is from this price hike is like, it seems a little bit BS, I think as well.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, to your point of what Nintendo doing weird shit, Nintendo owned titles have been excluded from Japan's biggest speedrunning event after organizers were told that they had to apply for permission for each game that they wanted to use from Nintendo's. They continue to do this. I know they've taken Smash Bros away from like some of the bigger events, right? Fighting events and things like that, which is crazy to me. Fucking good God, get over it. You know what I mean? That's so weird to me. But
very much.
I don't know. I mean, we could talk about this further and further, but generally, I think go ahead, John. What do you got?
An old man sat by the roadside selling watermelons. His price list was simple: 1 for 3, 3 for 10. A young man strolled up, eyed the watermelons, and handed over $3 for one. The young man smirked and then bought one more watermelon for $3. Laughing, he bought one more watermelon for $3. As he walked away, he chuckled, thinking, "Hey, old man, I just got 3 watermelons for $9 instead of 10. Maybe business isn't for you." But the old man let him go, and he said to himself, "They just keep buying 3 watermelons, thinking they're outsmarting me. Rather than buying 1 watermelon, they're buying 3 to get the deal, to outsmart them." Nintendo's not stupid. And I think in this article, it's very telling. After the table, second paragraph down at the middle, it says, at this price, you're better off spending $50 more and getting the Nintendo Switch 2, which starts at $49.99. I think that this price raise also is a measure by Nintendo to have people have that conversation. Well, for $50 more, I can get the brand new system. Right. All right, $50 more, done.
Yep.
So I 100% firmly believe that is also a tactic that Nintendo is using.
You made a great point with a dumb story. To me, I'm sorry. I was fascinated, but you came to that. What a wonderful point that was. But the story.
I think you're probably on to something, obviously, but that only works if they don't have a lineup for Switch 2 titles, right? They have a lot of original Switch games elevated a little bit, probably play better on the 2, which is probably a part of that plan, but they have nothing outside of Bonanza, right? I mean, am I right? Like in Mario Kart World.
But how many? Yeah. Okay. Your mom, Jordan, at Christmas time when she was at the store, when she was at the store buying you and getting, in October when she grabbed the Nintendo 64 and thought, "Oh, Jordan's gonna love this for Christmas." She doesn't know shit about it.
Didn't
she
go
doesn't
to me.
know
It went to my
anything.
brothers, and I didn't get it until it was a hand-me-down. But anyways,
and you don't know that she doesn't know shit about it. She's a smart lady, John.
How
Much
dare
love to
you?
Jordan's mom.
Yeah, yeah.
Much love to Jordan's mom.
Yeah.
But how many parents
That's
are at the store making that choice? Oh, this the Nintendo Switch 1, and then there's this new one, the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, the 2 is only $50 more, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy this for Jimmy.
I got you. I see what you're saying.
Jimmy.
They don't know
Yeah.
that there's only 6 games out for the Switch 2 right now.
Right. Right. I that's a conversation that is always happening when a new generation or a new system is being announced, though. That's always the case. Is like nobody, it could be the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. Granted, they're not going to be nearly as close in price as now Nintendo is, but I don't know what the benefit of not selling all of your stock. You know what I mean? And you might be right where it's like, okay, we're just going to push people. We don't have the lineup. We don't have the games, but we're going to make it as close to avoid a price parity as we need to. Right. Where it's like, oh, $50 is probably the give or take. Oh, fuck it. Let's do it. That's probably the limit. I'm sure there's research. There's all sorts of shit that they did. They're like, what are people willing to be like, fuck it, spontaneously going to spend $50 more to get the thing that's right next to it? That's worse. I don't want to say worse, but older. 9 years older, mind you. Not the OLED. The OLED came out much later, but like 9 years technology. Yeah, like $50 more to get today's brand new stuff.
And again, if the mom is at the store talking to a salesperson who has a little bit of knowledge in what they're selling, they're gonna absolutely throw that out. Well, you got the Nintendo Switch here. It's 9 years old. This Switch 2 just came out. Yeah. So it's $50 old. It's $50 more, and it's brand new. Versus, you're going to spend $50 less, but this thing is 9 years old. So the games are 9 years old. Like I am picturing snakes all over the place with that.
Yeah, no,
Parents,
I completely
be
understand.
aware.
And I think, go ahead.
Two issues with that. That may be part of it. Maybe they were thinking about that. But again, this is the best-selling console of all time. Who does not already have a Switch 1 that was going to buy one? Like, at this point...
I go back and forth.
You go back
9
and forth.
years in, if you don't already have a Switch, what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Mind your business, John. Maybe I got my reasons.
There's that, but there's also, they didn't just raise the price only on the Switch. They raised the price on the friggin' Alarmo. They raised the price on the Switch Lite, which is still over $100 cheaper than everything else.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's something else going on here, not just,
You're right. I think it's a bunch of different stuff, right? John's is probably, hey, we're going to reap the benefits of pushing people where we need to push them, but we also have to reply and react to the current economics or uncertainty of the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, right? That plays a factor, but it can be both, I think, which is a loss for the consumer, right? In general.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you are pushing somebody to the new one, you're like the Switch 1 would have sufficed for $399 or $299, right? You would have been like, oh, okay, right. Easy peasy. I can do that. That's not a problem. But now you're like, well, now there is a conversation that you do have to have, and that you're spending more money regardless. I think if you're going to go with the old option, you're spending more money. If you're like, well, the old option is so close to the new option, I'm just going to upgrade and spend $50 more. You're spending more money. That's really what it comes down to, and that's the shitty part.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is $449.99, and it's $50 more than the OLED version of the Nintendo Switch. Mm-hmm. Where if you're buying the
OLED doesn't matter unless you're playing handheld.
I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go back to the parent thing. I don't think that the parents are. Just give me the Switch. Just give me the Nintendo Switch. I don't need the OLED version, and all that. Right. There's
excuse me.
You got to give people credit sometimes, but you also have to sort of, parents are a lot of times they're gonna go, okay, spend the $50 more, and I'm gonna get the new thing. However, I could save $100 and get the base version of the Switch. So I think that pulls it back.
Yeah. The options again. Yep. It's a weird conversation, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not the only ones. I mean, what? Didn't they say some regions the prices went up for the other PS5s and also the S series consoles, right? So, I mean, it is just it's an overall arcing thing. But yeah, Nintendo does weird stuff all the time. I mean, they just continue to, but they also continue to sell stuff. So what can you do, right? People are going to buy it. Except me. I'm not buying a Switch 2. I don't need to. I don't need to play Bonanza. Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, go. I can't wait to light fires.
Oh, fuck you and your campfire simulator or whatever the hell. But I was also thinking, I don't know what would do it for me. Oh, never mind. Stupid. I already know what would do it to make me buy a Switch 2, and that's the From Software Duskbloods game that's coming out. Fucking stupid.
When does it come out?
They got your number, buddy.
I don't know, but Duskbloods release. I don't think it has a release date yet. It says 2026, so I don't have to get one for until next year. Woo!
You're good.
Look at me. By
the way, that reminds me. I just saw it on Facebook yesterday. Just scrolling. I don't know the validity of it, but allegedly Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed to the fall of 2026. And my favorite thing is anything Grand Theft Auto 6 related. I love diving into the comments where you get people that say like, "Oh, we got this before we got Grand Theft Auto 6."
Mm-hmm.
And it's the funniest comments because the things, they're always the funniest things. Like yesterday, GTA 6 delayed till fall now, and somebody commented that we're gonna find the last digit of pi before Grand Theft Auto 6 is released. I got a good laugh out of that one. Obviously, pi goes on forever. One. We know that there is no last, which is funny because then people comment on that comment and they're like, actually, pi goes on forever, and it's like, boy, here's the joke going right over your head. But
thanks for that, fucker.
It's not a shock to the person that would put that as like probably lacking in reading social cues a little bit there.
Yeah. But yeah, allegedly that's been delayed.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think anybody's going to try to avoid whenever it does come out. All the other developers are going to be like, we're releasing some other time. Sorry. That's all the topics I have for today. The last little tidbits I've got is just games coming out this week. We'll hit on those. We have a couple different ones. Demon Slayer, the anime. There's a fighting game coming out coming out on August 5th for PC, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch. Ritual of Raven, which is a farming simulator. Hello, John. Hello. August 7th coming out for the PC and Nintendo Switch. Actually, now that I look at the trailer, no, for you, you're probably good there. House of the Dead 2 remake finally coming out for the PC and Nintendo Switch. So that's cool. That would be awesome. I still love, that's one of my favorite arcade cabinets, I think, is House of the Dead. Another cool compilation, which is going to be Gradius Origins. It's a shooter, kind of, I don't know if you're familiar with like Gradius and Salamander and or Life Force. Those types of games are doing a big collection for that one. So that's going to be really cool. That's coming out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch on the 7th. Artis Impact, which is an RPG, coming out on the 7th on PC. We have a game coming out called 1,000 Deaths, a platformer coming out for PC on the 7th as well. Oh my God, so many 7th. We have Endless Legend, which is a 4X strategy game, kind of around the realms of Civilization. That's coming.
Legend 2.
Isn't that what I said?
You just said Endless Legend.
All right, the second one. Thanks for the correction there, Andrew. Coming out also on the 7th on PC Early Access. And then last but not least, I think the biggest of the week is going to be Mafia: The Old Country, which is an open world adventure game coming out for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, coming out on the 8th of August. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I said I would report back if I played Dead Take. I have not played Dead Take yet because 7 Days to Die became a thing and pushed it back a little bit. But I do plan on pumping out 3 hours of that game hopefully soon, and go from there.
Yep.
But,
Same.
outside of that, I think that wraps it up for episode 7. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. It's been a pleasure. We'll be back
Always.
to it going next week as well. Talk about, see what all these games have to bring. So hopefully there's a little bit
Drop some
heavier
comments about difficulty.
Yeah, we'd love to know what
Let's
your
go.
thoughts are. If you are ride or die hard all the time, pause, not what I meant to say. But if you're ride or die, if you're ride or die and you play on the hardest difficulty, good for you. But if you're also like us and you like to, lower it down, get the story and the narrative aspect of a game, and you're good and you're complacent with that, that's awesome too. We'd love to hear about it. So let us know in the comments. Without that said, though, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see everybody later. Thanks, everybody. See ya.